In this episode of Puzzle Time, we have two brand new 3D printed puzzles from a Canadian company called Creative Workshop. This one is called The Angel, and it actually has 1, 2, 3, 4 of these sticks that'll help you open up the puzzle. And these sticks have magnets on them. So you got to figure it out. There's a lot of numbers on the top. Figure out how to open it. It's a 2-stage solution. Find out more in this episode of Puzzle Time. Welcome to episode 113 of Puzzle Time. In today's episode, we have two 3D printed puzzles from a Canadian company called Creative Workshop. Now, Creative Workshop is a guy named Lawrence Chen who 3D prints his puzzles here in Canada. Linnea, where is he located?
He's located in Ontario somewhere.
Awesome. And he's from Asia somewhere. I think originally Hong Kong, Shanghai, something like that. These are great puzzles. We're going to start with the smaller of the two because the other one's a really big one. We'll start with this one. This is Tiger Cryptex. It's a cylinder puzzle block.
You may recognize these from the Eye of Horus and the Newton cylinder. We had those ones in. They've been so popular on our site. When they get them, they don't last for long. So
no, they've been
these ones
wildly popular. I think the really cool thing about his company is that he has. I like the color scheme. He's got this like bronze or brassy kind of color. I like this. So this whole tiger thing. I don't know if this shows up on camera, but it is engraved in there, I guess.
He said embossed.
Embossed? Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's lots of design around the outside here. And he says there is hints on the outside, right?
Yeah, so basically what I understand from it is something to do with these monkeys. So if you line these monkeys up, or tigers, sorry, they look like monkeys or tigers.
Yeah.
If you line the tigers up with like the lid and then with these ones, I feel like, then that would tell you like when the ball will drop through, right? There's that circle there.
Let's start with what do you got to do? You got to take the lid off, right?
Yeah, so there's 4 balls. So they're all sitting together on one side, and then if you flip to the other side, there's 4 empty holes. So there's 8 holes. Essentially 8 holes and 4 ball bearings. Yeah. So you figure that you've just got to get the ball bearings to the opposite side. Either that or they drop into the center. Some of his other ones, they have to drop into the center somehow.
Do the balls move around the outside, do you think? Like, do you think they spin?
If you get them, there's a spot where they can drop through. And if you line up the things correctly, then they'll drop through.
You can see the ball bearings right in that hole here. You can see kind of the...
I feel like there's maybe a hole it has to drop into. And then once you get it to drop into that hole, you turn it around to the other side.
So we should say, I guess we didn't mention at the start, but the Tiger Cryptex is a level 7 on the Puzzle Master difficulty rating scale. Again, like I've said before, our scale runs from 5 to 10, 5 being easy, 10 being hard. So this would be kind of right in the middle of difficulty levels as far as some of our stuff goes. So one thing to keep in mind too is that this puzzle does come with tape kind of holding the lid on. So obviously the lid, if in shipping, if it spins or moves, it will change the position of things.
I think that's why he had the reset available, because if it does, something
What do you
happens,
mean? We have a reset?
We have a reset and solution. So if something does happen to it in shipping where it does move around, we have the reset where you can reset to start it.
Or if you just get stuck, like we have a reset and a solution
available.
It doesn't come with the puzzle, but you can email or message us or get a hold of us on our website, and you can get the reset and the solution. So
make sure when you are resetting it that you do follow his instructions.
And
he did specify.
This is the little paper that you get with it here. It talks a bit about the puzzle. It says the 2 cylinders can be separated once the puzzle is solved. So you will get this like completely out. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Okay, that is the Tiger Cryptex from Creative Workshop. Now let's go to the big one. We only have one right now of these here at Puzzle Master. It's called the Angel.
I think the other 2 sold already, because I noticed when we had got them in, we had gotten like 3 of them in, or so 3 or 4 of them in. Okay. So they sold pretty fast. I know that for sure.
It's a cool puzzle. It's a huge puzzle. Like this is a big puzzle. We saw this on his website before we got it in and kind of checked it out, and it was hard to tell the sizing totally. But I mean, when you get it in here, man, it's a huge puzzle. Like it's 2 hands to hold it. So this is called the Angel. It's a level 10 on the Puzzle Master difficulty rating scale. So it's going to be very, very difficult, insanely hard. And now, one interesting thing on the difficulty is that Alan, who is the Puzzle Master, the guy who started Puzzle Master, he's like the expert that we all reference to here. He could not solve this, as Aaron also couldn't. Aaron, so if you watch some of our solution videos on YouTube, Aaron is also quite the puzzle expert and does a lot of our solution videos. Neither of them could solve this puzzle, so it is very hard, very hard. These are limited editions, so this is number 27 of 999. So you can see that right here on the certificate of authenticity, which comes with Lawrence Chen's signature. And just a bit about the puzzle. So they're numbered limited editions. These come in. So okay, so now let's talk about this. What do you got to do on this puzzle?
So it's something to solve with this puzzle. Once you solve these,
hold on. What you got to get the? What do you got?
Yeah. So there's 2 steps. The first step is to solve this puzzle with these 3.
You got to get this middle cylinder out, right?
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. So you got to take the middle cylinder out. Inside, you'll find that there is a storage space, right? That's 5.3 centimeters in diameter and 8.3 centimeters in height.
Yeah.
So there's a space, and apparently it can store like a gift card. To get the size of a gift card. Yeah. Okay, so now you gotta do something with this front spot here. There's lots of clues around the outside of this box, right? So I don't know what this stuff is. There's a lot of numbers here, and so it's a 2-step solution where you're gonna solve the first thing and you get this cylinder out, and then there's another thing to solve.
The first step is to solve these. Once you solve these square things, then you'll move to the center cylinder and it acts like a cryptex.
Right. So once you solve these, the cylinder comes out.
No, then you can move this thing. Right now it's
it moves.
In position.
Oh.
So once you solve this puzzle, then this will start moving and you can do stuff within here.
Okay, so it's a two-stage solve kind of.
And what I've noticed is, each of these pegs will match up with a different symbol up here.
So hold on, there's 4 pegs. Let's pull the pegs out first, and you'll notice on these that there's magnets. Now there's obviously spots for 4 magnets, and these are in different orientations.
I feel like if the way you have this in here, the magnets will attract the ball out, and that's maybe what's locking it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that would make sense.
And then once the balls are out, then you can work your way through this.
There's balls or pins that it's going to release.
Something, yeah. There's something that's going to magnetize these. Because I was listening to it while I was playing with it. You could hear.
Do you think these magnets have different?
Magnetized in certain spots. Like you can feel it right there too.
And look at this. It's different polarities. So on the magnets, so like this side, they push against each other.
Yeah, they're all in the same position. They're like you said, different polarities. Well, not all of them, but like if you look on all 4 sides, each side is
exactly the same. Yeah. Like the magnets in the same spot.
But these ones look different than this one. Those ones, right?
Look at that. So I think all 4 of them. Like look at that. It's all the positions available.
Yeah.
But obviously, like we said, different polarities. So that's why these numbers, like you can put it in that way. You can also like spin it and put it in another way, right?
I noticed the numbers don't match the numbers on here though. So there's something mathematical, I feel like, to do with the numbers.
Yeah.
Because like if you look, there's no 10 on this thing at all.
Yeah.
And this one is supposed to go with this symbol here.
So Linnea's talking about these. Let's see if we can show that a little bit more. There's symbols here. So I'll need these 4 quadrants on the top that match up with symbols. Oh, let's see, these are gonna be hard to show off here. There's symbols in here. And so it's a little hard to show on camera here, but there is symbols inside each slot. So obviously, this is gonna tell you that this square lines up probably with like that square there.
Is it something to do with these quotes? Like does this quote
I don't know
clue to what's going on
How many is there 4 quotes on this thing?
Yeah. Or is there the same?
Maybe it's all one thing.
So I'm wondering maybe if you go within certain lines and certain words, maybe that's what the numbers line up to, or maybe it's something to do mathematical, like
maybe. Look at this also on the outside here.
How the numbers line up.
There's little triangles and little circles. And they're actually, this one has nothing above it. This one has a circle. Triangle, circle, circle, triangle. Yeah, this is a cool puzzle. I like this. I think it's only what is the price of $129, I think, Canadian on our site.
Something like that. For how big it is,
for how big
much is going on, yeah. It
again, with this guys, with Creative Workshop stuff, man, you get a lot of puzzle, a lot of 3D printing material for the price. Yeah, these are great puzzles. Creative Workshop, available at puzzlemaster.ca.
I think with his too, I think we're the only ones carrying them right now.
I believe so, yeah.
Himself. I don't know if he has. I think he has his own shop on Etsy.
Maybe, but I haven't seen these anywhere else. So I think Puzzle Masters, you're like, yeah, pretty exclusive place to get this stuff. So yeah, there it is. Lawrence Chen, Creative Workshop. Go to our website, puzzlemaster.ca. Also, Linnea, we wanted to talk a bit about a new thing you're doing on TikTok, right?
Yes. So we've been doing, like Facebook, we've been doing TikTok lives. We've been doing about 2 a week now. I'm probably going to go to almost maybe 3 or 4 a week.
3 or 4 TikTok lives a week. Okay.
Yeah, they've been really popular lately, and it's a good way for us to interact with new people.
Yeah, so if you want to interact with Linnea a little bit, you've been doing like solves and stuff?
Yeah, so basically I have been doing a couple easier puzzles so that I can give out like hints to, like I give you about 2 or 3 moves and say what move would you want to do or what do you think would be good to do on this puzzle.
Awesome. Well, go to TikTok. You can join Linnea on the lives. Do you have a certain day of the week you're doing those?
Thursday and Friday for sure at about 4:30. 4:30 and 5.
That'd be Central Standard Time.
Central Standard Time, yeah. And then I will be picking another couple of days. But so far with me and Chuck, they've been doing well with just interacting with people.
So Chuck's been shooting video with you on that?
Yeah, so we just kind of, he'll shoot and we'll talk a little bit together, just like our Facebook Live. So
Chuck's our cameraman / creative producer. So yeah, and then also you can check out our Facebook Live. That's Thursdays at, are you still doing like 3:30 p.m.? 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can join us there. The Facebook Live is kind of where we do a bit more of hey, this is what's kind of come in. You'll see brand new stuff that's coming off the shipping room floor before it's on our website. It's where you can get a lot of information before you'll see it on our website. A lot of products that come in that way. So that's cool. Also, like this video, subscribe to our channel. Click the bell to get notifications when we come out with stuff. And it's a great way to interact with you in the comments and different things that we do here at Puzzle Master. So let's move into the online buzz. Okay, online buzz. We want to talk about a guy we've talked about a few times on here before. Now, what's his name again? It's a Chinese guy, GM,
and then it's a bunch of Chinese characters. And we translated it out, and it translates out to Secret Base when we translate it. But if you enter GM Secret Base in YouTube, you will not find him.
Yeah. But we did find, so we're talking about a couple of videos here today, and we found out if you enter GM and Nemo puzzle, his video will come up, so you'll see him on there, because he did the Nemo. So the Nemo is that one it's a Redemic puzzle. It's a little teal blue, round circle, or what do you call it, sphere. And then you've got to release a couple balls in it. We watched his video on that. It was really good. Again, we don't understand what he's saying because he is speaking probably Cantonese or Mandarin. But they're great videos, and he seems to get some really, really good puzzles. One of them that we saw was called the 4L/5L basket. And we looked it up. So I didn't recognize this puzzle. It's a wood puzzle, and it looks kind of like that Akaki's picnic basket, which is that 3D printed one that I liked recently. And you've got the burr-shaped pieces that you're putting into it.
I think they're all L-shaped.
Are they all L-shaped? I guess that makes sense. 4L, 5L, right. Okay, so this is, we looked it up, and I had not recognized this puzzle, so we tried to figure out who had it. We Googled it, and it ended up on the Metagrabologist page. Now, the Metagrabologist does a magazine. They're a great reference for puzzles and stuff in the puzzle world. They do lots of interviews. They have like I said, a magazine that they do. So we went onto the Metagrabologist page and found out that this is a puzzle by, so it's now, do you remember who it was designed by?
Is it Mini or?
No, that was
Yuki?
No, Miniyuki Uematsu.
Yeah, he designed it.
I thought he just made it, and it was designed by someone else. I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, okay.
So Miniyuki Uematsu made it.
I don't know.
But this puzzle, it won the Nob Yoshigahara puzzle design competition in 2019. It won the jury first prize. So it's a very if you're not familiar with this is IPP, which is the International Puzzle Party, which is the premier puzzle event every year. So this puzzle won a really prestigious award in that. So it was great. Go to yeah, go to his page, watch this like 4L basket. I quite enjoyed it. We found that that's Mineyuki Uematsu, which I didn't realize this, but he's designed a couple puzzles for Hanayama. There was the quartet and the hexagon that are on our page. So because when I Googled his name, it came up with the Puzzle Master page. So very cool. So that was kind of the rabbit hole we went down with this whole secret base GM guy, and checking out this 4L basket.
I've been watching a lot of his videos lately. Like, I've been really enjoying them. Like, you don't really need to understand the language. He explains it and he writes everything down, draws everything down, and his video is done so well that you don't need to know what he's saying.
No, exactly.
To understand what's going on in his video. He does such a like Chris Ramsey. He does such a pleasing, fun video to watch, sort of thing.
And I think the thing we like most is he has some great reactions when he solves stuff. He gets really excited. So that was always fun.
Yeah.
Okay, next, Linnea, you checked out this guy named Eureka
on YouTube. Yeah. So don't get him mixed up with the Eureka Company or the
Eureka Puzzles, who like makes puzzles.
I think he just liked the Eureka, that he solved something, and he does his own 3D printed stuff as well. I don't think he does 3D printed puzzles. He mostly did like kind of toys or interesting things.
Yeah, it wasn't strictly a puzzle page. It was toys and like you said, he did some 3D printing of his own.
Just kind of cool looking, like cool objects, like how Chris Ramsey does like different magician and cool objects and stuff like that. I think that's what his 3D printed was, and then he delves into wood puzzles.
Now this was exclusively hashtag shorts though. This was no long video, so if you're wanting like something really quick and short, this guy did exclusively hashtag shorts, and we watched House of Dragon by him. So House of Dragon is from Escape Belt.
Yes.
Escape Belt does those escape rooms in the box. And he solved the House of Dragon, which is their most recent release that was on Kickstarter. Now, he doesn't show the full solution, which I like, but he does show a few of the initial primary steps. One thing that was really cool, a little like square mirror comes out of it. I thought that was super sweet. So check it out. We have not done the House of Dragon. I don't think we have it here at Puzzle Master. We're gonna be getting it eventually, but check it out. That's Eureka, so EUREKA. Eureka, I don't know, that's a weird word. But it was hard to find, so I think if you type Eureka House of Dragon on YouTube, you'll find it that way, or find his video at least, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then last but not least is one of our favorites and one of the OG puzzle guys out there, Oscar Van Deventer. We watched him do this hysteresis key. This is crazy. This is something he did like apparently back in like the 80s or 90s.
Yeah, and then he did like a new version of it.
Yeah, so he 3D printed it. I thought it was super cool. It's essentially just a key that slots into this thing, and you got to be able to push the key all the way in. And there's really not a lot of movement. You're just going in and out. And so it was really cool.
It's like a maze where there's this like little red
there's a pin
that moves through the maze, and the way you push it, when you pull it out and push it back in, it can go in certain ways.
Essentially, the maze though is like it's just made up of triangular shapes. So when you pull the pin, it pushes it to like a new angle, and then you push it into another triangle, which pushes it into a new spot. It's a really cool idea. Now, the thing that was different that Oscar was showing in this video was that he used clear 3D printing PLA to be able to show the movement that's happening inside of it. Before, he had made it out of wood, and you're kind of just pushing this key in and out, and you really don't totally understand what's happening. When he did the clear 3D printed PLA, you could see the pin moving and see the movements that it did throughout the puzzle. And I thought it was super cool seeing that. Genius stuff from Oscar. We've seen his stuff before, and if you haven't, go check his YouTube channel out. But yeah, this hysteresis key was super cool. And then also I like that he showed his next video after like the main video where he's showing his design is him in a escape room. So it was him in an escape room, and he was showing the hysteresis key that had been used in an escape room. I assume it's his design, and he made it, and it was this big one. So I thought that was really neat. Go check out Oscar's channel, Oscar Van Deventer on YouTube. He has some great stuff and he's really consistent with videos.
I wonder if he's working with Chris Ramsey's escape room.
I don't know.
He's making one too, so maybe that was for his. I don't know.
No, I think this was a German one. This was one in Germany. Yeah. But Chris Ramsey is also coming out with an escape room that he's talked about on his YouTube channel. You definitely keep an eye out for that. Yeah, Chris Ramsey's been pretty busy with his escape room stuff, so we haven't seen as much videos from him in the last little while here, but some good stuff. That is the end of our online buzz for this episode of Puzzle Time, episode 113. And then hopefully you guys enjoyed watching these 3D printed puzzles by Creative Workshop. We're going to have more stuff coming out here soon again. Linnea, there's a couple things we're expecting here shipment-wise soon, right? You were talking about?
Yes, so if you've been noticing on our site, some of our Hanayama stuff has been out of stock for at least a month or two.
Yeah.
We do wholesale it out, so when big shipments come in or orders come in,
there's some big Hanayama. There's some big Hanayama shipments coming in, so you can expect a restock of Hanayama stuff soon-ish here. If you've been waiting for some of the Hanayama stuff.
It was expected by the end of January, but with customs, it's been delayed a little bit.
Yeah,
so just in the next week or two here, just expect to see Hanayama restocks and recent toys restocks. So if you've been missing out on both of those, they should be in the
keep an eye out for that. They should be coming in soon. We'll let you know on some of our lives. Again, tune into the TikTok Live or Facebook Live. I'm sure we'll be talking about some of those when they do come in. Thanks guys for watching this episode of Puzzle Time. Join us again next time for episode 114. Thanks. See ya.